I'm Jesse Redmond from Leaf Brands, and I'm here with their CEO, Micah Anderson. Micah, what's happening, man?
I'm just hanging out in a wheat field.
In the sea of green, one might say. Well, it's been about 2 months since we were last out here together. Can you update us on what's changed? Because it sure looks like a lot has changed.
Yeah, I mean, everything's coming along, as you can see. We've got the first kind of 65 acres of the field planted. We're close to harvest, so start harvesting in about a week. And kind of rotating through. We've got 10 different blocks. We've got, field one in, and then we'll rotate through the entire field and kind of harvest the same way that we put them in, and then come right back in and replant as soon as we pull out the field that's being harvested.
And some people watching might be puzzled that we're standing here in late June without a dep or any sort of things to shift the light, yet we're seeing nice big buds. How did this happen?
It's just the strain. So we're running autos. Autos are predominantly used for oil, which is like a big part of our business. So to keep it simple for ourselves, we ran one strain. So the whole thing is going to be purpose for oil. And so they don't get big, So there's actually one plant, 1.3 million seeds, and one of them made through as a full term, and you can see it's like definitely different down that way. But so they finish small and quick, and it doesn't matter what the light cycle is doing. So there's 24 hours of light, they're still going to flower, and it's like a technique or a way to basically get 2 crops in out of the year. So you can plant early in the spring, get out of your own way. Typically in July, and then come back in with the photo period full-term plants.
So starting next week, we'll be start harvesting the 65 acres. We're going to do that a second time. In the fall, are we going to go back with the same strains or mix things up?
No, mix things up. So at that point, then we'll switch it up, and we'll do, 20, 30 different varieties. And so we have a kind of a different, as we go into extraction and the different lines, so hydrocarbon and solvent extraction, we'll have more of a menu to offer to clients, so different flavors. Some of it will dry, some of it will go towards oil, a lot of it will go towards frozen, and we'll target that towards the hydrocarbon line and the rosin line.
So there's different strains that work well for a different line. So at Leaf, we have 3 main extraction lines, or 3 extraction lines, period, that are ethanol, solventless, and hydrocarbon. And what works well for hydrocarbon might not work well for solventless. So you're saying we're planting specific things that we know will work well for each line.
Yeah, exactly. Whether that's coming from like client demand or like historical data through the extraction facility. So we typically know what works well and what doesn't. Try and stay away from the things that don't yield well for obvious reasons. Stick to the ones that wash well for the solventless line, things that perform well to live resin through the hydrocarbon line. And then, distillate does its thing.
Yep. So to wrap things up, Micah, when investors look at this, they see this massive field. They see we have a 2,000-acre ranch. We have 65 acres going right now. We can scale the cannabis permit to 187 acres. What's the biggest benefit of Salisbury Canyon Ranch to investors?
I think the obvious answer is the P&L impact. So like we're going to be able to reduce our COGS dramatically from where they're currently at. Historically, over the past almost 9 years now, I guess, we've been spot purchasing or through contractual farming agreements from different farms all over the place. And it's worked. It's gotten us to where we're at today. But, right now we're purchasing material anywhere from like $20 to $30 a pound. We think that we can reduce that by 50, 60% with what we're doing here. And so it's streamlining our own business. It's giving us better predictability and consistency with our clients. It also allows for us to really dial in the machines and like work on like what's called a golden batch when you're doing manufacturing practices. So a big block of material. And I think one of the main things is that this is clean. We did a test on this just to check where we're at. And so it's a non-detect material, which is hard to come by in California. And that's a big impact, a bit P&L impact. We can charge a premium on that. It's something that's like, there's not enough of in the market. So I think that's one of the main things that's a benefit to investors, people that are, been believing in the story and sticking with us. And then I think that the other thing is just the balance sheet impact. We made a significant investment and a bet into this real estate and this farm that we have, purchased the ranch, put about $7 million into the infrastructure so far, and had it reappraised, and the reappraisal came back about 4x of what we originally put into it. So I think that that's a huge win as well.
So strengthen the balance sheet by owning a strong asset, and then we should see a margin improvement when we start processing our own material. To manage investor expectations, when do you think we'll start to run that material? When should we start to see that benefit the margins of the company?
Q3.
Q3.
Q3 will be the starting point. Q4 even more so, and then it'll roll into Q1 and Q2 of next year. And then from there, as we expand and kind of get better and find more efficiencies, I think that we'll see improvement from there.
Well, great. I appreciate the update, Micah. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.